Are you in the market for a new slush machine? Then you're in the right place. Welcome back to another Jeff Reviews for you. In this video, we're taking a look at the Ninja Slushi Max. You heard that right. You know what though? Enough talk. Let's get right into this review. This thing is gigantic. I mean, I had to back the camera out just to get the whole thing in frame. We are taking a look at the Ninja Slushi Max. To get started, we're just going to cut these zip ties because then the box is going to lift right off because, wow, this thing is heavy. You don't want to be lifting unnecessarily. Here we are unboxed and all the packaging is taken off, and the only thing I can say right now is, wow, this thing is gigantic. Let me compare it real fast to the original Ninja Slushi, and then we'll get going with this review. Here we have a head-to-head, and there are quite a bit of differences between the two, but I'm just right here showing you the size difference. Remember, our max fill before was 64 ounces. Our new max fill is 112 ounces. It is bigger and beefier. The size is not the only thing bigger on the Ninja Slushi Max. This one retails right now for $299, but this one is $499. That's $200 more. Something to consider when you're in the market for a slushie machine. Starting to like some of the upgrades I've noticed. First is how you add your liquid. You can either do it through this little tiny door right there or pop the entire thing off. Look how large this area is. Now you're not gonna have to worry about spilling over the side of the machine because the opening here is a lot bigger. Just like the original Ninja Slushi, what we're going to do is we're going to wash things first. So I'm going to pull up on this lever here in the back. That releases this container so I can get the auger out. And these things are all dishwasher safe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these pieces out and wash them in my dishwasher so we can get ready to get started. Those of you that are wondering, I'm actually going to wash the drum with hot soapy water and then clean it up really, really nice so our slushie doesn't taste like soap. That way I know everything is clean before my first use. As we're getting ready to use the slushie machine, I want to make sure to pay attention to this little sticker on the side. It says, make sure this remains upright for at least 2 hours before you first use it. You want to make sure to do that because of the refrigeration and such inside to make sure everything runs as it should. Mine has been up for about a day and a half, so we're good to go. We've washed our Ninja Slushi Max. I will say it was much more difficult for me to get this container into the dishwasher, so I ended up washing it by hand. It's just a lot bigger than the other unit, and it didn't fit on my bottom rack. That may be different for you, but me, I had to do a hand washing. We're gonna start the testing with just a traditional slushie. I did get some cherry Coke this time, and we're gonna use the Slush Assist mode, but first we're gonna put our soda in the machine. Now remember, we can either lift up this little flapper and pour it in there, or we can take off the entire lid. I'm just gonna do it that way because it makes more sense to me. Let's start pouring. We did add all of our cherry Coke in there. I should say that 112 ounces is right around 3.3 liters, so you can get another liter and a third or so in here to get to your full level. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it on by pushing the power button. Then we're gonna just click the Slush Assist. You can see the machine has already started as soon as we click that button. The Slush Assist mode takes all of the guesswork out of making slushes. So what the machine is doing, it's now actually scanning our liquid to find what is the best level of cooling that we need to provide, and I think that's awesome. The directions tell us that it'll do this smart sensing for about 10 to 15 minutes and then give you the optimal cooling. Of course, you can adjust it with this knob if you would like it more frozen or less frozen. Quick check-in. We are, of course, using the Slush Assist. It's only been going for 5 minutes. This is already not sensing, and it's telling us when we are going to reach our optimal freezing temperature or freezing level. Now, I can adjust this if I want, but let's take a look at the liquid only after 5 minutes. Can you see? It's already starting to look like a slush. That is pretty cool and very fast. Remember, as we said before, this is going to be the level where it's going to stop cooling, but if I want to adjust that because I'd like it a little more frozen, I can do that. I'm just going to leave it on the Slush Assist just to see what it does, but I can adjust it. I appreciate the customization with the Ninja Slushi Max. The cool thing with the Slush Assist is this is almost right at the level where the slush setting would have been. Slush setting goes to the 5th one, which is what it's at right now. Slush Assist is taking us one more and going to the 6th setting. I think that's neat. The machine detected our liquid and gave us the best case scenario for making a slushie. As you can see, it just beeped. This has been running now for 20 minutes, so it took 20 minutes to completely turn a 2-liter bottle of soda into a slushie. Let's take a look at what that slushie actually looks like. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty impressed. That Slush Assist button did a great job. I think that's what I'm going to use all the time. Now let's dispense it. When dispensing your slushie, there's a couple rules you have to follow. One, you have to have it on. You do not shut this off when you start to dispense because you want to make sure it's able to spin out the contents. It's coming out pretty good. We take a close look. It has the exact consistency of what you would expect a slushie to be. Not to mention it's very refreshing. It's also important to note that if you don't want to drink all of your slushie right now, you can leave this machine running for up to 12 hours. After that, it'll stop chilling and stop spinning. Just so you're aware of that. 12 hours though, it's pretty impressive. We've gotten to the end of our slushie and we want to make sure we clean the machine. Little button at the bottom that says rinse. Let's click that button. What that's going to do is that's going to keep the auger spinning, but what I want to do now is I want to add some hot water into the actual reservoir or hopper here, up to 112 ounces. I actually do want to max this out because I want to make sure I clean the machine. We're told that almost as soon as we put that hot water in, they want us to drain it out. Now it's going to come out pretty fast because it's just liquid, so I have a big bucket to catch that liquid. What I typically do is I'm going to do this about 2 or 3 times just to make sure it's all cleaned out. Now that we've drained out the last of our liquid, let's turn it off. Now that did not completely clean it. It just got a lot of the soda out of there. I'm still going to take this apart and clean it myself and get it ready for storage, but that does a lot of the heavy lifting. I think it'd be fun to make a frozen mimosa. So I'm using a recipe that I've used typically on these machines. Now this machine is much bigger than the machines I've used in the past, but this is still the recipe I use. We have 2.5 cups of orange juice and a bottle of champagne. As you can see, it doesn't even fill up this hopper half the way, so you really can double that recipe and get twice as much in here. That's pretty cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it on, and then we're gonna click Slush Assist. If this works here, I will never use any of the other buttons. I will always use Slush Assist, so fingers crossed. Just like with the soda 5 minutes in, the Slush Assist has detected our liquid, and you can definitely see that it wants a higher freezing level because of the champagne that's in there. Man, that is too cool. This took less than 20 minutes and it already beeped, and it's probably because it's not as much liquid as the 2 liter, but check out your frozen mimosa. Our machine has been washed and we are ready to go. Now it's time to make a milkshake. So in my mixture, I have 4 1/3 cup of whole milk. I have 2 1/3 cup of whipping cream. I have 2/3 cup of chocolate syrup. Of course, I have 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, and to top it all off, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. What I did is I mixed everything cold, just try to get everything incorporated. I'm dumping it right here in the machine. And you know what? We are going to be using the Slush Assist. Let's turn it on and click the button. I'm going to put the lid back on, and hopefully in just a little bit, we're going to have some delicious milkshakes. Slush Assist wins again. Like I've said before, I love that feature. Now, this has been going for 25 minutes. It's time to have our milkshake. Oh, check that out. Does that look creamy? Take a closer look. Oh yeah. Now don't get me wrong, it tastes delicious. It's just not frozen enough for me, so this is where I get to modify it. I'm gonna go up 2 notches, still on that Slush Assist. I just want that a little more frozen. I did get a second opinion on that milkshake, and they actually thought it was the perfect milkshake consistency. And I guess I'm looking more like for a frosty consistency, so maybe mine will be a little thicker that way, but it was a milkshake indeed. I'm excited to see what this looks like a little colder. As we're waiting on the milkshake cycle, I'm really glad we have this drip tray because I've been seeing some of that milkshake drip out from when we poured it earlier, and it's nice to have it caught right here in that tray. So like we're ready again. Let's pour out that milkshake. It's definitely a lot thicker. This is the consistency I like it. I appreciate the customization on our Ninja Slushi Max. All right, so our milkshakes are all done, and I will say out of all the different things this make, the milkshakes are my least favorite. One, because I don't really like the milkshakes at the end. I find that regular milkshakes are actually better, even though these sort of do resemble milkshakes, just not my favorite. Don't get me started on the cleanup. That was an absolute nightmare. It took a lot of cleaning up and then washing. It was just gross. In this video, we're taking a look at the Ninja Slushi Max. So what do we think of it? First things first, let's talk about that price point. $500, that is a lot of money for a slushie machine. I do appreciate the large capacity and the upgraded features as compared to the original Ninja Slushi, but if you're not looking for something that's gonna create this much slush or whatever, then I would go with the smaller ones and save a couple $100. On the flip side, if you're planning on having some get-togethers and you wanna make a lot of slushie over a short short period of time, well, this one is where you want to go. It does come in a couple different colors. Of course, you can see that I picked the coral. For those of you interested in making the spiked slush, this one does have a better capacity as compared to the original. I think they say this one has a 20% alcohol content, just because of the refrigeration and cooling is higher powered here than compared to the original Ninja Slushie. And although I didn't really have any experience with that during this video, if you have not enough sugar or too much alcohol, it'll let you know right here on the screen, and it'll tell you sort of what to do, whether you have to add a sugar substitute or water to just change the chemical makeup in the slushie machine. I really do appreciate the smart technology packed right here into the Ninja Slushi Max. Anyway, that was my full review of the slushie maker. If this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for you. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.